Hello and welcome to this episode of the Cold Start Corner. I'm Eric Matei, and our goal here is to educate and empower the emerging practice owner through each step of the cold start journey. Now, in the last episode, you'll recall we started by simply organizing all of the work that goes into this process into three simple phases. Your planning phase, composed of your financial forecast and feasibility analysis and strategic business plan, which together establish a good, solid foundation for your business. The development phase, which is all about the optimal office location and build out and technology and workflows that align with your vision. And the launch phase, which is about your team and human resource functions and strategic marketing plan, together setting you up for a successful high velocity launch. Now, we're going to be digging into all this stuff in a whole lot of detail in this and future episodes, so be sure to tune in. Now, we wrapped up last time with a simple homework assignment, and that was for you to establish your practice vision. Now, there are two key components you want to be sure are included in your vision. One pertains to the scope of care and products and services you aspire to deliver to absolutely delight your patients. And two is your vision for the practice environment, that office culture you aspire to foster to absolutely delight your team each and every day in the workplace. So if you got your practice vision in mind, let's jump right into it. So in today's episode, in these next few episodes, we're going to take a deep dive into all facets of your financial forecast and feasibility analysis. And it starts today with identifying and quantifying your capital investment, your startup costs. Now, I cannot express exactly how important this is to the entire process for two reasons. One is we need to be sure that you're going to the bank asking for financing to cover exactly what all the needs are for your vision to come to reality. And two is recognizing that the work that goes into your startup costs and understanding those and itemizing those is going to come full circle later in the process as being the foundation in the version 1.0 of your master budget. You don't have to worry about that right now. We're going to get to that in a later episode. So let's jump right into it. Startup costs. The fact is this. We work with many clients across the country, and it is not uncommon for this compilation of startup costs to easily exceed 100 line items. As such, it's kind of easy to be overwhelmed with this stuff. But here's a simple exercise that you can do to really start the process and establish a framework within which to have a lot of fun developing a thorough assessment of what your total startup costs are. And it's as simple as this. You're going to organize this into 6 categories. I mean, quite frankly, this is a simple 6-point capital investment checklist. So first and foremost, we're gonna assess the needs for the physical office location, right? So the physical space itself and the needs for the build out. Now I'll tell you, the costs associated with this are going to vary radically based on what part of the country you are located in. But you can do some simple online searches, perhaps engage with a commercial realtor that can give you some insights into exactly how to understand what the build out renovation cost per square foot are in your market, as well as kind of the going rates for various commercial rents, what have you. So after a physical office, then it's imperative that you include all of your professional services in your startup costs. So what do I mean by that? Right? You're working with a CPA, you're working with an attorney, you're working with designers and architects, perhaps you're working with a consultant. All of these professionals, all of this consultancy and advice are startup costs of your business. As such, it's important to include those in your compilation of capital investment. This next area gets to be a whole lot of fun for doctors, because this is where you're building out exactly what your clinic is going to consist of. So we're talking about your exam lanes, your diagnostic equipment. Again, let your mind run wild with this regarding the scope of care and products that you want to work with to, again, absolutely delight your patients. So once your compilation of clinical investment is done, again, all of your equipment across your lanes, all of your special testing, diagnostics, any other specialty equipment, be sure all that's comprised here when you're compiling the startup costs for the clinic. From there, we then move to the front of the house, which is what? Identifying and understanding the investment that will have to be made in getting your optical up and running. Now again, this is going to be totally contingent based on your vision, with the nature of the products that you are looking to deliver to your patients. In addition to that, also, are you going to have a full service lab, finishing lab, what have you? But all of that stuff, again, have a lot of fun, think outside the box, anything goes with this stuff. So we've touched on the physical office, we've touched on professional services, we've touched on the clinical, and we've touched on the optical. Next up from there has to do with the rest of the office, which is infrastructure and systems. So I'm drawing here our little computer screen. But this is going to be anything and everything that pertains to the business of your practice. So again, we're talking about infrastructure across the board, all of your computers, your servers, any sorts of software you'll be utilizing to enhance workflows, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Additionally, this is where you'll also factor in all the furnishings for the practice. Again, from front to back, every facet of the practice. And last but certainly not least is going to be your working capital. And what is working capital? Working capital is going to be that cash on hand that you're going to have in the bank that's going to be there to be just that, working capital, to pay the bills and see to it that we can cover any financial responsibilities we have, regardless of what our revenue generation is going to be, especially very early on. So when you put all this together, again, it's a very fun exercise to go through in compiling and quantifying your capital investment and let your mind run wild. If you'd like additional resources on this, you can find a whole lot on at Akrinos.com. Again, follow us on the socials, subscribe to our YouTube channel, and visit the Cold Start Corner at Akrinos.com for everything you're going to need through this step and all these ongoing steps throughout the process. So your homework assignment between now and the next episode is to take the time and come up with your list. Really, take the time exploring what that office location and build out might look like in your part of the country. Understand exactly which professionals are going to be an integral part of helping your vision come to reality. Assess the clinical needs for the scope of care you're looking to provide, in addition to the optical furnishings and investments in inventory that you'll need to present your optical with a good solid launch, your practice infrastructure and systems, and last but not least, that working capital. Put all that together, have fun with it, hit us up if we can help with anything, and we'll look forward to the next episode where we're going to start to build on that next step of the financial forecast and feasibility analysis, that being your revenue modeling. Until next time, Eric Matei signing off. Leave your comments below with additional topic ideas, and we'll look forward to catching you next time here at the Cold Start Corner.